So I intended to make this video on my laptop camera, but that laptop camera apparently thinks it's 1985, and it was grainy, and it looked like a Bigfoot video. So negative on my iPhone again. I guess I'm gonna have to purchase an actual camera. So yeah. Anyway, something's been on my mind for a while. Let me see if I can. Oh, look at that. That's just bueno. Friday, I gave what we call in the Marines a professional military education brief to my Marines. Every Friday we get together and talk about something. I chose the topic this week, and it was nutrition. I gave them like a little slideshow I made and talked to them about it. And something interesting came up that I've thought of in the past, but there was a young Mexican, first generation Mexican American female Marine, and I was talking to her about nutrition in her family, and she said her grandfather lived in Mexico all his life. He was a field worker, ate the traditional diet, fit as could be, lived to a ripe old age. Her father moved to America, is an office cleaner, eats the traditional diet, not quite as in good shape. And her, she's a admin, manpower admin, that kind of thing, HR, I guess, in the civilian world. If she eats the traditional Mexican diet, it makes her heavy, and in the Marine Corps, you can't do that. And I thought of how that's kind of been the same for me. Everybody probably knows by now that I'm Mormon, and if you don't, now you do. Go Romney or whatever. Mormons, they tend to eat that heavy pioneer diet. My culture seems to think that we're still crossing the plains, and we're still, building the Wild West, and we're going to all cut roads into the ground through the cliffs and then plant corn on the other side of them, their hills. And so it's a lot of heavy starches, oily casseroles, meat, and zucchini bread, dessert, and then more dessert. That is a great diet when you are indeed cutting holes in the Rocky Mountains, or taking a desert and turning it into a thriving civilization. But when you're not doing those things, when you're living a modern life, you tend to put on immense amounts of weight. So what's required of me and mine, of this generation, is to take a step back and say, okay, is this diet right for us? And that can be hard, because culture has a huge part to play with food, and food with culture. I mean, you get with your family and you eat. That's what we do, Americans. Christmas time, get together and eat. Thanksgiving, get together and eat. 4th of July, we eat. Every one of our holidays is wrapped around food. Or food is wrapped around our holidays and then deep fried and covered in chocolate sauce, and you eat it into your belly. But that's a problem, because then we're not expending all the calories we need to be able to justify a diet like that. We're not manual laborers, for the most part. Some of us are, most of us aren't. And so we have to take a step back, every one of us, and say, okay, how do I make eating right for me? How do I keep my traditional diet and make it right for me? Janet and I, we're trying to stay away from refined anything. It can be tough. We do things that make us feel good, like buying couscous. They've got the Mediterranean stuff that's like tiny, like sand, and then the Israeli type, and we're not anti-Semitic, so we can buy that. It's bigger, and when you boil it, it comes together, and when it comes out, it's almost like a pasta, but it is made of wheat, but it's part lentil, part other stuff in there that's Israeli and delicious. So we actually kind of use that as a sort of pasta intermediate, but it's a good source of carbs, because you do need your carbs. Yay much carbs, yay much protein, yay much healthy fat, right? Makes the world go round. In there is not sugar and deep fat fried chicken wings or whatever. So avoid those things. Sit down with your diet and think, okay, how can I make this right? Tonight I took chicken drumsticks, right? And I thought, how am I going to cook these? And I remembered something somebody told me. If you boil meat, parboil it, it'll make it more tender. It sears the outside pretty much, you know. Then you can actually take it out, put it in your frying pan, which you can actually fry with water or fry with extra virgin olive oil a little bit. Or, like I did tonight, I parboiled it, and then I put my whatever stuff on it, and then I stuck it in the oven and broiled the heck out of it. So it came out, and there was a lot of not fat on it. The fat had kind of boiled out of the skin and all that stuff into the water, which then went down the sink. And it was actually really good. And so tonight we had turnips and carrots together. Yummy starches. Carbohydrates in the form of couscous. And then we had our protein, which, you know, I'm sure had all the fat we want and all that stuff. So that's one way we've done it. But yeah, really sit down and think, how do I make dieting right for me? I wrote some notes here so I don't ramble. I've hit just about everything I wanted to. So, yes. And then get out and move, because our bodies are engineered to move. And when you're not moving, your body is sad. So get out there and move. Eat right. Adjust your diet. Don't give up your culture. Just modify it for 2012. Unless you're expending 5,000 calories a day, do not eat a 5,000 calorie a day diet. Avoid processed anything as much as you can, and you will watch the weight start falling off of you, and it is good. So, another way, I get my nutrition, which makes it easier, so I don't have to fry meat and, you know, worry about all that stuff, is those Herbalife meal replacement shakes. You can do that. I do one first thing in the morning. I do one at lunch. Some people even do it, you know, make a very light lunch and then do their shake with it, and it jam-packs you full of nutrition. So, I don't know, it's Janet and I, we've just augmented our parents' lifestyle, our cultural lifestyle. We're both Mormon, and made it work for us. Just got to do it.